Atsa, papastem tsikason. Thanks for joining me today. It's a good day today. We were gifted with a yapio, and we're going to show you the entire process of harvesting this bull moose, this yapio. And with yapio right now, they're still just finishing up their rut, and you might get the odd one calling. We're in first week in November right now, and sometimes you could still call them in if they haven't found a mate yet. So we were lucky enough to get this guy this morning, gifted to us. So before we do anything at all, I'm going to do protocol and give thanks for this gift, this great gift that was given to us. So of course I'll say it first in my grandmother's language, and then I'll say it in English so you know what I'm saying. So anytime that I get an animal, I like to put my hand on its head while I'm giving thanks. And I've got my festimao here that I'm going to give as offering of thanks to the apio and the muswa for the gift that they give us with life, because this is going to feed a lot of people and provide food for months and months to come. How kisamantu inaskamun awamuswa. How simantu ninaskamun awamitsun. How musummuswa kinanaskumten awamitsun. How musumnanak nukumnanak tapananak. Kinanaskumten awakahkiaw hamagiwan. How kinanaskumten simantu. How kinanaskumten musumnanak. How kinanaskumten nukumnanak. How kinanaskumten tapananak. How kinanaskumten musummuswa. Kinanaskumten kahkiaw mitsun. Hey. So what I said in my grandmother's language was, Creator, we give thanks for this moose. We give thanks for this food. Grandmothers, grandfathers, great grandmothers, and grandfathers, we give thanks for this gift. We give thanks for the teachings. And grandmothers, grandfathers, great grandparents, and grandfather Moose, we give thanks for this food, and we give thanks for this gift you've given us. So the last thing I do is I lay down my sistemo somewhere where the moose has dropped, just as an offering in respect of the moose. So now that I've done protocol, I'm going to tell you a quick little story about moose, especially Yapio, because we have a legend that's been passed down from generation to generation that has to do with Yapio. Because we're told in legend that kayas long ago, when Nianims and his brother Wisaki Chak were the only two-leggeds walking on this earth, Nianims at this part in the legends, Nianims had been captured by the giants, and he'd been taken and kidnapped. And the older giant, the dad, had chosen Nianims to be the husband of his youngest daughter. But his younger daughter thought he was ugly and didn't want to marry him. But anyway, her father decided that, you know what, you're gonna marry him no matter what, but I'm gonna make sure that he's gonna be a good husband. So at this point in the legends, the giant, the father, had put a whole series of tests for Nianims to go through. And on this particular day, uh, he was talking with Nianims, and he said, "You're just a little person. You're a tiny little guy compared to me. You can't be that strong. I think you're just a little weakling." And of course, Nianims said, "I don't care how big anybody is. I'll fight anybody. I'm not scared. I'm tough." So the giant said, "You know what? I'm going to take you to this island, and we'll see if you come away from that island alive, then I'll believe that you've got a little bit of strength." So of course Nianium said, "Yeah, of course, yes, I'll go. Take me to this island." So the father, the old giant, took him to this island, and here it was an island that was full of muswa, mostly yapio, so mostly bull moose, and we are told at that time, kahkio yapio, all bull moose were man eaters. So they were hunting for any two-leggeds they could find. That's what they ate. And they were tough and mean. They had their antlers and they'd go after any two-leggeds they could find. That's what they ate for food. So this surprised Nyanibs, and he thought, well, geez, these are big animals. These are big moose. What am I gonna do if these moose are gonna come after me? So he wasn't there very long when this great big yapio come running at him and growling and snarling, wanting to eat him. And Yanims was fighting him off and holding his antlers, trying to push him back. And this moose, this yapio, was just snapping at him, trying to eat him. Finally, Nyanim started to get mad, and he said, "You know what? I had enough of this." And he started to win. He was holding the yapio by his antlers and pushing his head down. Finally, he put his hand on Yapio and he pushed his head right into the ground and he held him there. And the moose, this moose was getting his face in the dirt and he couldn't breathe right and he was having a hard time. But he couldn't get back up and Nyanium just held him there. Finally, the Yapio was getting tired. The bull moose was getting tired and he said, "Look, let me up. You win. You win. I give up. Let me up. I'm going to suffocate here in the ground here. I can't breathe." Nyanips looked at him and said, "Okay, I'm going to let you up here. But before I let you up, you have to agree to something." The Apio was still having a hard time breathing. He said, yes, whatever you want." Nyanips said, "You have to promise that from now on, Kahkiao Muswa, all the moose will eat nothing but plants and trees, and you'll leave any kind of meat alone. You'll leave men alone. You'll leave all the meat alone. You guys will just eat plants and trees from now on." And this Yapio was just about out of breath, and he's agreed. He said, "Okay, I agree. But Nyanim said, "Just to remind you guys about this, I'm going to leave my handprint on your head, and it'll be on every single muswa, just to remind you guys of this agreement, that all you'll do is ever eat plants and trees. You'll never go after people again." And the muswa agreed. And we are told that even today, if you go to any moose, your hand fits perfectly on his forehead, where Nyanim made his mark all those years ago. And we're told that the reason why your hand fits perfectly there is that to this day, Muswa are all still reminded of what happened all those years ago, and they still keep their agreement. So that's the story of Nyanips and Yapio.